Hello all, welcome to my channel. Without wasting any time, let's jump into story.
All right, today we're going to dive into a pretty simple story about a young artist that honestly reveals a huge secret about how growth really works. And this is a lesson that applies to pretty much anyone trying to achieve, well, anything great. So let's jump right in. I love this quote because it just nails the whole idea, right? Greatness isn't some big single event that happens to you. It's something you build, one tiny piece at a time. Let's really unpack that idea through this story. So, our story kicks off with a young girl. And like a lot of us, she had this big, huge dream. She wanted to be a truly great painter. But, yeah, there was one little problem. You know that feeling? There was this massive gap between the incredible, vibrant pictures she had in her head and the flat, kind of boring drawings that actually showed up on the paper. She had all the ambition in the world, but her hands just couldn't seem to create what her heart was seeing. It's such a frustrating and really familiar feeling. And as if that wasn't hard enough, this initial struggle slammed right into an even bigger wall, the judgment of other people. And of course, that just fueled her own crushing self-doubt. This is usually the point where a dream just dies. She started thinking about talent like it was, well, like soil. And when she looked at her own work, her soil just felt thin and barren. But then she'd look at other artists, and it seemed like their soil was just so rich and fertile. You know, like genius just grew effortlessly for them. We've all fallen into that comparison trap. It's brutal. And that feeling got so much worse because, well, people were actually mocking her work. The world laughed. And that laughter, whether it's real or just something you imagine, man, that is one of the most powerful things that can stop us from even trying. But her story doesn't end there. Instead of just giving up, she made this quiet, really simple commitment to herself. It wasn't some grand, heroic gesture. It was small. It was something she could actually do. And it was about to change everything. She basically decided to stop worrying about becoming a great painter. She just put that huge, intimidating goal on a shelf for a little while. And instead, she focused on the process. And her process was this: draw one single leaf every single day. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. So the first week goes by. She's drawn 7 leaves, but nothing. No visible improvement at all. The second week passes, that's 14 leaves total, and still her drawings just felt lifeless. This is the crucial part, right? The waiting period, where it feels like all your effort is for nothing, and you really start to lose faith. But she kept going. And then, on the very first day of the 3rd week, something finally happened. A breakthrough moment. And it didn't come from some sudden flash of inspiration, but from that quiet, relentless consistency. Day 21. After 20 straight days of what probably felt a lot like failure, the 21st attempt was different. All of a sudden, bare on the paper in front of her was a leaf that had depth. It had texture, a leaf that looked real. It wasn't just a sketch anymore. It actually felt alive. And right then, in that moment, something profound just clicked into place for her. She hadn't just learned how to draw a leaf. She had discovered the true nature of growth itself. It wasn't magic. It wasn't about having better soil than somebody else. It was about the slow, steady, almost mathematical progression of daily effort, compounding on itself. Her journey reveals this universal principle, and that's what we're calling the geometry of growth. It's the simple math of how these tiny, consistent efforts don't just add up. They multiply, they compound, and they create these massive, almost unbelievable results over time. So now, let's jump forward in the story. Years have passed, and she is now that great painter she always dreamed of becoming. Her galleries are packed with people just marveling at her incredible work, and they all ask her the same question we always ask when we see true mastery. How did you do it? What's the secret? And her secret? Well, it wasn't a secret at all. It was just a few simple principles she figured out back on day 21. That growth is a process, not a single event. That daily effort is the engine that drives that process. That you have to learn to ignore the laughter, especially the doubt inside your own head. And maybe most important of all, that those tiny, almost insignificant daily actions, like drawing just one leaf, are the very things that compound into greatness. Look, this story really isn't about painting. The exact same principle applies to learning a language, building a business, getting in shape, writing a book, literally anything that matters. So the real question for you is, what is the one leaf you need to start drawing every single day, starting today?